are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Pour. And today it is Barnes, Tony, Renee from the couch, Michael in the vicinity, and it is Monday. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing very fine. Thank you very much. Great Monday so far. Happy to be a Met. Happy to be Monday. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I could say as far as the Yankees weekend.
Oh, come on.
Yesterday was a great day. And we'll get into it in a second. As we always do, Tony. But first, like we always do, I just want to give a congratulations to Patrick Cantley winning the BMW yesterday. So he moves into second for this week's Tour Championship, that $15 million prize. Scotty Scheffler, virtue of his third place finish, remains number one. So he'll start at 10 under par in the staggered start. Cantley will be at 8 under. Always debatable how they do a staggered start just because they want buzz and juice, in terms of this tournament. But I just feel like it's such an easy answer, because everyone's always like, you want it to make, if you win the championship, but you don't want it to be like, someone could finish 15th, but they had enough points. I feel like it's like, so just make it that the top 30, they make the tournament, and whoever wins the tournament wins the championship. Like, don't do a staggered start. Like, it's just like, because then, it's worthless. Well, it's not worthless because you qualified to make the tournament. Like, I don't know. I just feel like to have the guys that are 25 to 30, like where they were in the FedEx Cup points, they start 10 strokes back. They're at even par, and Patrick Cantley's at 10 under. Like, they have a real shot. Like, what's Cantley going to shoot 80?
Yeah, it does seem kind of unfair.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Well, no, like I said, they want the regular season points to mean something, and they don't want it to be the winner wins the tournament, doesn't win the FedEx Cup.
Well, how could they find a nice balance?
Well, that's what, like I said, you qualify, and then whoever wins. That's it. Like, why is that so hard?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe this is one of those things, the PGA Tour is working on. We know that they're working on these like lower fields, higher rewards, and obviously hoping to keep some of these guys instead of defecting to live. But I think we'll find out, a lot about that. Come the end of Sunday, really, because that's when it'll start. We do have the President's Cup next month. They did announce some of the automatic qualifiers. Guys on the international team, Matsuyama and Cam Smith, they're rumored to be going to live, so that might change things a little bit. So just going to be interesting to see how the dominoes fall. But at least for this week, we can focus on the last event of the PGA Tour season, and East Lake, always just a great course. They do a lot for the community with the tournament in itself. So that'll always be fun. And we will keep you posted and do a preview come Wednesday. But just wanted to give a shout out to Patrick Cantley, and he also.
You don't sound so happy for him.
So what I would say is I didn't pick him. Tony Finau, I think he's starting 7 strokes back of Scotty Scheffler. So it's just he's I guess he's just never been. He's very hit and miss for me. But I mean, he did win the Tour Championship last year, trying to go back to back. Nobody's done that since the FedEx Cup was created. So, and also Tony, I mean, I'm just wanted to update everybody on the golf, and I'm a big golf fan, but there's bigger priorities at the moment that we just have to talk about. So let's just go there. The world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy Young. Nada, where did that land?
Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first. There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right, Sayonara, Tony. So, no home run Aaron Judge this weekend. No series win this weekend.
Still wearing the jersey.
Still wearing the jersey. So yesterday was great. We'll get to that in a second. But unfortunately, like you had predicted, at least for Friday, more pain was ahead as they lost 4-0. Tyone kind of did what we had expected in terms of the 5 innings, the 3 earned, 6 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, getting his 4th loss of the year. ERA now sits at 4. And speaking of 4, Yankees 4 hits on Friday. And I know Kevin Gausman been inconsistent, but obviously one of the better pitchers, at least in the division, if not the American League. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there's no excuse to get shut out. I think it was like their 4th shutout in 6 games or something like that. So it was just a terrible way to start the weekend. You were only 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position because you only had 4 hits to begin with, and all self-contact. I mean, only 8 strikeouts, which unfortunately for them isn't a high number. So it was just not the way to start the weekend. I just think, despite Gausman obviously being a good pitcher, we could have found a way to win this game, but we didn't, like we haven't recently. And then Aroldis Chapman seems like he's back to his old ways. It didn't end up mattering, but he comes in, gives him a hit, walks 2, has to be pulled. Marinaccio gets the job done as always. But Chapman, I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, really, I mean,
washed.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I've never seen somebody just so. But I guess if you think about it, I mean, his entire career, he actually has never been good in a big spot. He just was dominant in Cincinnati because no one was watching. I mean, and we've talked about it before, with the Cubs, blew it in Game 7. I mean, they were lucky to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he was overused and whatnot. And then you think about his postseasons with the Yankees, 2017, 2019.
Blowing it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's just not mentally tough. I mean, is that all it is? I mean,
it must be, right? Because I mean, he has the velocity.
Yeah.
You've seen when he's on top of the ball and he's got his location, but high pressure situations.
So, and the thing is, we're so short in the bullpen. Scott Efros might go on the injured list, which obviously
what's the deal with him?
Wouldn't be good. Shoulder fatigue.
Oh,
yeah. So
shit.
Luckily Lou Trevino, we'll get to it in a second, but played a big role, in yesterday's game. But we know Clay Holmes is on the IL, and Marinaccio, I mean, he's going to be probably closing games pretty soon. Albert Abreu placed on the IL, made the call of Bard from AAA. Clark Schmidt probably waiting to get the call. He would replace Efros if he's injured, but we'll see what happens. So not really much to discuss other than that for Friday. Saturday, 5-2 loss. And just one of those things. I mean, you really actually, only had 1 run through 7 innings. Nice to see Florial play a role, singling in the second to score Trevino. But other than that, just no offense till the 8th inning. A Gleyber Torres home run, and sure, he's shown some signs of life, but still just an inconsistent performance. Judge, had 2 singles. Trevino had a double and a single. I mean, there really just wasn't much to talk about. Garrett Cole, had a tough 4th inning, and I guess there was our 5th inning, but there was a report. I guess Mike had tagged me on this on Twitter. I guess Benintendi had misplayed a ball in the last, and he was saying, "Oh, Gallo made that play every time" or something. I don't.
Garrett Cole said that.
See, it almost seemed fake, but it was all over Twitter. I don't know. I didn't hear more about it.
Oh, dude.
But needless to say, I mean, he could have been better, but obviously, I mean, come on. I mean,
come on.
1 run through 7 innings. You got to do better than that. And they just don't. And I think the only bright spot of this game was the fact that a couple, I guess, but that Judge had 2 hits, that Gleyber homered, and then Efros and Marinaccio lights out again. But you needed Cole here. You needed them to do better because the offense has their back against the wall. And you thought against Mitch White, I mean, you were expecting the win. And they just don't get it done again. So just another frustrating afternoon for me. And that led us to yesterday, which we finally, had a good day. I mean, still tough offensively, but a well-pitched game by Nestor Cortez. Gets the no decision because of the faults of the bullpen, but 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. But before the game, too, they did retire Paul O'Neill's jersey. So that was a nice ceremony, and the fans were really riled up for him. And
they were riled up for Hal, too, right?
Yeah, Hal and Cashman were booed, which is great.
Dude.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see that. But yeah, Paul O'Neill's great. And I mentioned it before the show. I mean, he just had that fire, that drive. I mean, George Steinbrenner nicknamed him the Warrior. And I know there's some people that are kind of naysayers in terms of his number being retired. I mean, he was with the Yankees for 8 years. He won 5 championships. I mean, I think he was a very important part. And I think it's just something that was deeper than the numbers. Not that his numbers were bad, but I guess just the fact, okay, he didn't, hit 40 home runs this season. Everyone thinks, like he was just okay. But
pretty yoked, dude.
He was important and he was fiery, and he has that leadership that not a lot of these players these days have.
Grit. I think they're grit. They don't have grit, dude.
Yeah. So, that was a nice way to start the afternoon. And then the first inning, a little hit and run action. DJ LeMahieu, a little ground ball, the way they were playing him, wide open gap, really didn't hit it hard. Rizzo ends up scoring because there was a throwing error by Gurriel. But then, unfortunately, in the third, Nestor gives it back to Whit Merrifield, tied at 1. But then we had another LeMahieu single. So it was nice, too, that I guess the cleanup hitters had been struggling. So DJ actually batted 4th yesterday. So he came up twice in a big spot, singling in the third to score Benintendi to make it 2-1. But then in the 7th, bullpen runs into trouble. The combination of Loaizaga and Peralta, they each get an out, but Loaizaga gives up a run. Peralta gives up a hit and a walk. So luckily, Lou Trevino, gets the final out of the 7th to get them out of a jam. And then Andrew Benintendi finally hits his first Yankee home run, and that was a huge home run, salvaging the weekend. So it was a 2-run shot to make it 4-2. And then Lou Trevino, works around that walk in the 9th inning and picks up the win here. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 32 pitches. So really going strong. And it was nice, too, because I was thinking, too, especially when he got a runner on, I was like, please do not bring in Chapman. I really, because it's like, who else are you going to go to? I mean, Marianaccio has been used a lot. Efros is banged up. You'd already used Loaizaga and Peralta. I mean, I know yesterday, especially too, because even going into the 9th, I mean, he had pitched, an inning in the 3rd. It wouldn't have been crazy to pull him. Imagine if Chapman went in for the 9th, there's no way he would have gotten the save.
Well, yeah.
Unbelievable. So luckily that was the good move. It almost reminded me of last year when they had Chad Green go 3 against the Mets. That type of thing. That's the stuff you need to do. And I really do think Clark Schmidt is on his way. We need him. This bullpen is banged up, and hopefully Loaizaga turns it around. Wandy, we've talked about this before. It's just right. I mean, it's just I don't know. Featuring a changeup. I don't know. I don't. No, he's not terrible, but just keep him in the 6th inning and either we're losing or up 4. I don't know. I just don't want him in a big spot. He ripped our hearts out when I was at Fenway. So at the end of the day, Benintendi and Trevino, 2 guys that they got at the trade deadline, play big roles here in salvaging this last game of the series. You couldn't get 4 games swept by the Blue Jays. That would just be devastating. Lead would have been down to 6. Now it's back up to 8. And it was nice to see Benintendi come up in a big spot. I mean, it was a no-doubter, second deck. So I think that's important. And listen, but it's tough because usually, I would come in after a win and be pretty fired up. But those 3 losses, Thursday through Saturday, I mean, really took some juice out of it for me. It's just got to get back-to-back wins. It's been so long. And listen, I know when you look at it on paper, the pitching matchup today, especially, Scherzer versus Herman. But I think the boys are fired up, and I just think they're like, you know what? Last couple of years, the Mets have had our number when we've played them heads up. We don't want to lose to the Mets. We're not going to lose to the Mets. So I hope they're fired up because I'm fired up, and I just want to see it. I think it's crucial at this juncture, Tony, that we take both of these games. And I know, like I said, the rain in the forecast, Scherzer versus Herman, DeGrom tomorrow. I mean, you would think backs against the wall. But I just think the tide is due to turn, and I think a win yesterday on a day honoring one of our legends and Paul O'Neill. You got Montas on the hill tomorrow. Is there something going on with DeGrom, because he's not officially confirmed for tomorrow for whatever reason?
Yeah, I heard about it this morning, but I haven't done much research on it. So
are you
a little worried?
Just slightly something. Why? Because he was up there last week.
He was up there.
We were here Friday,
he's supposed to be pitching tomorrow. The only thing I can think of is, what do you throw? 97, 98 pitches?
Oh my God, is that a record? No, come on, Tony. I mean, that's a little weak, no?
Well, for his third start back, he didn't really throw over 65 his first two starts.
Well, I think that's on them. I mean, the second start.
No, yes,
should have been more.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, that the fact of the situation.
Do you think they want to give him another day?
Maybe he's a little sore. Maybe he wants a little extra day of rest.
Are you worried he's currently in an MRI tube right now?
I mean, I would be lying if I said that wasn't on my mind.
So that's what I'm saying. Here we go again.
No, hold on. Let's look into this here before all of a sudden, dude.
Oh my God.
What do we got?
Prefer is reminding me of Dave Rothenberg.
Oh yeah, I was waiting to get to that. But first says, the Mets look like world champs this weekend. The grit, the emotions, the excellence, and you really cannot argue against that at all, Brian.
I could very much so argue it.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I just think yesterday. I mean, you're starting. Well, no, but hold on. Actually, no.
Oh, God forbid. God forbid.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a second. But last week you were hitting everything on the head. You're in lockstep. I really agreed with everything you said. You made some great points, and then you say something like that. I don't know if it was a tough weekend or what it was. Do we have any updates on DeGrom?
Searching. Jacob DeGrom. If DeGrom pitches
may not
Tuesday,
get Subway Series start against Yankees.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading. Shows how Walker feels Monday morning before reaching a decision. If DeGrom pitches Tuesday and on normal rest Sunday against the Rockies, he will miss next week's series at Citi Field against Dodgers, entering play Sunday. The Mets 6.5 games without Dodgers' best record National League show. So that's not in consideration. Okay, so apparently they're saying if Walker is healthy, they're going to pitch Walker.
So it has nothing to do with DeGrom.
Nothing to do with DeGrom. Suck it, Brian.
All right, fair enough. But listen, so you think about it in a month, the lead over the Jays has went from 15.5 to 8. So this is a big stretch. And like I said, I just think we got to show up the Mets. I really do. I just, above anything else, the way this month has gone, I think they're 5-14, if I'm not mistaken. Worst mark in the league, tied with Detroit, whatever. It's like, we got to beat the Mets. I just don't want to hear it. And I will be so riled, if there's a victory tonight, just to hear what Dave is going to say in the morning.
He's been off, dude. Him and Rick are both off this week now.
Oh, you think contract negotiations?
Who was in for him? I forget. It was some guy from ESPN that I don't like. But yeah, it is. No, it's not. No.
Okay.
I'll
Larry
tell you.
Hardesty?
No. Keep going.
Gordon Damer.
It is Damer.
No, really?
I'm pretty sure it's Damer. Yeah. I'll double check right now. Gordon Damer in for Rick and Dave.
The sports desk.
Oh my God! Like, fucking turned him off immediately. But I'm sorry. What were you saying? Oh yeah, Rick and Dave on vacation. Contract negotiations, maybe, dude. I mean, when you think about it, like they haven't really said. Oh, sorry, that's me. That's Gordon. Wow. That's Gordon Damer.
98.7 ESPN. But they haven't announced an extension. So
haven't announced extension. They keep talking about it on the show, and for Rick to be like off now, and he's been kind of back in like every other week, and then Dave has been off for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah,
like no one in sports radio does that. No one in sports broadcasting does that.
No, they're getting ready for the football season.
Yeah, my ass, dude.
One other thing though that we forgot to talk about, or really it's on me here, but a little jawing between the Blue Jays and Yankees yesterday. Aaron Judge gets hit. Manoah kind of talking smack to him, but then Garrett Cole like goes over the rail, but then Judge is saying, stay back. And I guess
my God.
after the
dude.
game,
The theatrics.
Manoah said, if Garrett wants to talk, maybe next time he can go past the Audi sign. And listen, I mean, I think,
That's funny.
There's a little sour grapes here, Manoah losing to the Yankees. I'm sure he didn't expect that, the way they've been playing. And it's just like, but you know what? I'm just proud of Judge because he's a leader and he just knows nothing good comes out of a brawl, Tony. I mean, we might all think it's crazy watching it because it's baseball. You're not used to that type of stuff, so it's exciting. But at the end of the day, injuries, suspensions, it's just not worth it. So I think Judge, did the right thing there.
What did exactly he do? He just put his hand up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the boys were ready to come out. I'm just saying.
Oh God.
So I just thought that was funny. But Manoah, hey, I mean, he's a great pitcher, but yesterday just wasn't his day. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why, maybe just a second year slump. Like at the end of the day, the numbers are there.
Oh, Manoah?
Yeah, but
he's doing decent.
But let's take a deeper dive here because I know that he went from like lights out to like,
Well, I mean, I feel like we always see that in like a second season. Especially for someone who's doing good. I mean, especially for a pitcher, I mean, if you're coming into a season with a lot of adrenaline, sometimes it's hard to kind of find your off-speed pitches and your breaking balls,
So let's see. Splits 2022. All right. So ERA wise, so April/March 1.44. May, 2.03. June, 2.56. July, 3.45. August, 3.97, Tony.
Trending in the wrong direction, as they
First
say.
half, 2.28. Second half, 3.97. So,
I mean, obviously, hey, man, it happens, I suppose. And obviously, that's probably why he's a little
ticked off.
Distraught.
Yeah. But yes, I just thought that was, interesting. But I really do think Yankees are going to be fired up. And it's a shame that, Domingo Germán has to get the start tonight. Just because, you could see Scherzer giving the Mets 7 or 8 innings and Germán, I mean, it'll be hard pressed to get 5. And the bullpen's beat up. I haven't seen any corresponding roster moves. I mean, I know Luke Bard's got to make his debut. That was the hard thrower they got from the Rays after he was designated for assignment. So he's yet to make his Yankee debut. Haven't seen any updates on Efros yet. Stanton, I'm thinking probably will join them on the road from what I'm gathering. He's played 2 games with Somerset so far. So I think the bullpen really has to step up. And I just think it would be a statement. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to throw us Max Scherzer. We're going to throw you Domingo Germán. And we're going to beat you. I mean, if they do that, I just think it will be very uplifting. And I know it's not an easy task. I'm not saying it is. But I think it has to start tonight. But, we'll talk more about it in a second.
What do you think of Cabrera this weekend?
Tony, I'm forgetting things today.
I know. They're already saying he's Jeter over there.
I mean,
people are so annoying with that shit.
3.
No, he made a great play. He made some great plays.
3 plays. Yeah. He robbed the home run. He had a play in the hole with the Jeter jump throw, and then he caught a ball in foul territory and like Jeter going into like where the tarp is, and but he was fine. And yeah, that energy. I think he only has 2 hits so far in these 5-6 games he's played, but he's played every day. I think they're going to keep running him out there. He's got the fire, the passion, the defense that some of these other guys don't have. So I think at the end of the day, it's great that they're just letting him learn on the fly here. And the fact that he has versatility, short, second, right, third base. I think it's great for the Yankees. And I think we're going to start seeing him hit with the bat. He was very hot in AAA before he came up. I just hope these next 2 games that they don't play Aaron Hicks. Got to start yesterday. It's really, really bad. And I'm thinking that it's so bad that they might actually release him in the offseason.
Really?
I can see it.
It's
like Vernon Wells, Andrew Jones territory at towards the end. A-Rod almost. Even worse than A-Rod. I think A-Rod in 2016 was a better player than Aaron Hicks right now.
Yeah.
Just
Dude,
hitting
he
wise.
sucks. He's so bad.
He's
He's got to go.
Do you think they actually will release him in the offseason?
If he continues this, yeah.
I mean, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
why?
he has the worst, like, I don't know, WAR or whatever for a starter. One other thing that I had seen on Twitter here, just that I think, makes a lot of sense and the Yankees need to improve on here. So 3-0 counts this year. They have a 195 batting average. So that's when they get the green light in 3-0. 20% of those swings on the 3-0 have been chases off the plate. So they need to do a better job with that. I think Rizzo might have swung 3-0 yesterday and grounded out. It's like you got to read it right off the bat that you know that it's your pitch. Otherwise, what are you doing? I mean, at this point, we just don't have time for these type of things. And also, I forgot to mention this as well. What do you think of the whole Boone press conference?
I think he's an idiot, honestly. Like, first of all, he's getting pissed off. I don't know if you saw it. He said he was getting pissed off about being asked the same questions too.
Yeah.
Well, then, I don't know. Maybe start winning. Like start doing better, right? Boone, what do you think of the standings? I don't give a crap about the standings.
There's a bug he had to go.
Oh my God! First of all, yes, you do. We just got to do better. Look at the standings: 4 games, 7 games, 9 games. We do better.
Oh,
shut up, dude. But yeah, it sucks that what I think if you guys lost yesterday, it would have been what 4 games, 5 games,
4 games,
4 games. And what's that now? 5, 6.
Wait. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? The lead?
Yeah.
Oh, it's at 8.
It's still at 8.
Yeah. What are we? The Mets?
Maybe I don't know what it is.
You're thinking of the Mets.
My math in these games.
Thinking about the Mets.
About these standings, dude.
But
yeah, I thought it was kind of stupid, dude. Like what?
And
what are you doing?
Just because we're looking for consistency, and like I said, what they did, the last times they played. Do you feel, and not that you're expecting it, but do you feel in a way this 2-game series with the Mets that these are must wins?
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely, dude. I mean it's must wins not only for. I mean, the fan base obviously is one thing because obviously Yankee fans are dying to get a win against the Mets here. But it's gonna be a huge turnaround for the Yankees as a team as well. When you think about it, the Mets have been playing really well. Some may argue that they're one of the teams to beat in the MLB right now. And here the Yankees are, who are somewhat on a decline in their level of play and in the standings, and no one really wants to go into the postseason. With with not a good feeling in their stomach about, wow, like these guys kind of having us in the regular season. It's going to take us, a lot to kind of beat them in the postseason here. So yeah, this is definitely must win both these games. Who is Tampa after them?
I think Tampa is actually tied with Toronto for 8 games back.
Okay.
So
I mean, hey,
yep, tied. So yeah, I just think, and like I said, big road trip coming up, and I know the competition, isn't strong, but road trips are tough. And I think this homestand has been nothing short of embarrassing. You think about the record, you lost 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox. That's 1-2. And then you lost 2 out of 3 to the Rays. That's 2-4. And then you lost 3 out of 4 to the Blue Jays. So that's 3-7. I mean, even if we win these 2 games against the Mets, it's 5-7. It's not good enough.
Yeah, no, it's still definitely not good enough, dude.
And I think the key here is to get Scherzer fired up early. Get after him early. Be disciplined at the plate. Don't give him outs. And, just get ahead early because I think Herman needs that to have confidence to pitch. And also, with Herman on the hill, we need our bullpen to step up. I mean, Marinaccio didn't pitch yesterday, so I would imagine he'll be available, which is nice. But we know Trevino is not going to be available. I mean, it's almost a certainty whether he goes on the IL or not. Efros most likely won't be available. So, Luke Bard is going to have to come into the game. And unfortunately, we probably will need to pitch Aroldis Chapman. Loaizaga threw 7 pitches yesterday. I guess we could throw him in the mix.
Jesus.
But we're going to have to piece it together. And it'd be nice if Herman could go 6, because maybe we could get Marinaccio to have like a 6-out save. But it's going to be tough. So let's just start it out on the right foot, Tony. I know you're thinking that's not likely, but
It's not.
Before we talk about that, you could talk about how you're gloating over the Mets taking 3 out of 4 from Philly over the weekend.
Oh, yes, definitely. I think, a certain Brian was thinking maybe the Phillies would have, gave the Mets a bit more run for their money, I suppose, and take a few more games here. But in reality of the situation at this point, I mean, we've beaten them 14 times out of the 19 times we've played against the Phillies this season. So obviously, we've been doing pretty well against them. It all started Friday. We knew Chris Bassett was on the mound. He gave you a nice 7 innings, dude. 6 innings to only 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. He did, I guess, what you kind of expected from him. It would have been nice if he gave you maybe an extra inning, just because you knew what was kind of coming with the doubleheader and the injuries you've been having with your starting pitchers. But nonetheless, I mean, you had more than enough run support for him to give up 2 runs, even some of the bullpen to struggle, which they didn't anyway. But you had Alonso hit his 30th home run of the year, got his 100th RBI. I think he was 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, and then of course the dinger as well. I think Lindor was 3 for 5 as well. Brett Batty, 1 for 4. He's, he had a good insurance run, I suppose. He had a 2 RBI single late in the 7th to, again, put us up 5-2 at that point, give us more insurance. He's been coming along okay, I suppose. I mean, he's definitely needs some work, Brian. I mean, I think his batting average is like 150.
Batty?
Yeah.
But I think it's almost like with Cabrera. You got to just keep trotting him out there, get him reps.
Exactly. Getting him reps. You can see in his face, he's got a good attitude. Definitely very teachable, it seems. And like you said, with more reps, you just got to get used to playing that third base at the major league level, and he'll be fine. But then we come over to Saturday, the doubleheader, and these were the games that we knew Buck was going to kind of have to dance around, because as we know, Walker and Carrasco are both hurt. So we weren't really too sure, I guess, who was going to start where, a bullpen game or what. And for the doubleheader, we got the Trevor Williams, David Peterson 1-2 punch for these games. Honestly, I mean, I guess we'll start with the first game. Obviously, the Mets won 8-2. Again, talk about run support. I mean, that's phenomenal, especially for someone like Trevor Williams. But he gave you 4 innings of unearned baseball, 3 Ks, 2 walks, pretty decent. And the bullpen took care of the rest. Lugo struggled a little bit, inning in the 3rd, gave up a home run, and then Joey came in, an inning and 2/3, giving up 1 hit. I guess kind of danced his way around some batters. Caused a couple fly outs, I think 2 ground balls as well, but no Ks for him. And then Ottavino, 1 inning, 2 Ks on rest. I'll say this every day. Ottavino, when he's well rested, is like a pretty hard pitcher to kind of bat against.
I mean, is he your top setup guy at this point, or?
Again, on rest, dude, I would trust him more than Lugo, honestly.
Yeah.
I really would now, which is pretty dope.
He's got the stuff.
And then, he's got the stuff. And again, I mean, he's had so much success when he's been used correctly. So, I mean, I'm pretty stoked about him. And then we brought in Sam Clay to close the game. Came over from Washington, 29-year-old. I mean, it was obviously, we had to call him up. But he had 2 Ks in an inning, pretty decent. I'd like to see more stuff from him, to be honest. Still, he struggled a little bit. Like, took him a little bit to set. I think he walked his first batter. He ended up throwing 25 pitches in that inning. Kind of tough, but regardless, I mean, again, the run support. Lindor had a huge triple. There was really not much scoring at all until the 5th inning. And we scored 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and then there was 4 in the 9th. So it was kind of a close game up until then. But 9th inning was huge. Nimmo had a big double. I think Nimmo went 5 for 15 on the weekend, which for him, I mean, I would say that's really good. I mean,
because he had been slumping.
Yeah, he's been slumping a little bit, and he had some big hits. I'll get to. He had a good insurance home run yesterday too. Marte's been absolutely on fire. I feel, and McNeil as well. They both had RBI singles. So that was honestly a great game, and I want to say, I know I was kind of, I guess, knocking him a little bit for being 31 years old, but Michael Perez, the catcher that was brought up to kind of, be behind McCann. He had a really clutch, I think, RBI single to kind of start off the scoring here. So, I mean, that was pretty huge I would say
That's
from
why
him.
Billy Epler has him up.
Yeah, I guess so. And he honestly is looking really good behind the plate too. His framing is really good. It's good defense, good command of the plate. It's kind of nice to see him. I mean, hey, I suppose he's a veteran catcher at this point, right?
You like him over McCann?
Over McCann, I mean, offensively, he's already better. So
if you were the GM, would you release McCann?
No, I wouldn't release him. No.
I mean, what value does he have?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone may find value in him.
But I'm saying for the Mets, where's the value?
Yeah, no.
so I mean, then again, like, why wouldn't you just cut him then if he doesn't have value?
Because I would like to get Alvarez some reps here. Would be cool.
I mean, there you go, right? I mean, wouldn't you rather have Perez?
Sample size too small yet.
Sample size
too small, dude. But then the second game is where the Mets kind of faltered on Saturday. Hey, they played a shit ton of games in a short amount of time, by the way. But nonetheless, David Peterson, we've seen him come out of the bullpen, do okay after a while. Again, we talked about him having to adjust like pretty significantly to his different roles, and to have him start, he lasted 4 innings, 4 2/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. Threw 100 pitches in less than 5 innings.
I can't believe he was stretched out. You said he would be, though.
Yeah.
You'd say that.
So, I mean, they had to, I mean, they're very, obviously, Buck is very well aware of the fact that there's a doubleheader and a game still on Sunday, too, and you have to figure out who's pitching. But Nogasek was there. He pitched an inning and 2/3, 2 Ks, 1 walk, 1 hit. I would say for him, that's probably his best outing as a Met so far. In terms of length, in terms of not giving up much damage or anything like that. So yeah, bullpen did a decent job. Givens came in for the last inning, gave up 1 hit, no Ks, but obviously closed out the game here. So that was closed out the game in terms of I guess our bullpen. But obviously, we didn't have much offense other than Lindor, I think, scored on a error or wild pitch. Let's see, it was a wild pitch. Other than that, I mean, it was nothing. Lindor was 1 for 4. Alonso was 0 for 3 at DH. Ruff was playing first base. He was 0 for 3. McNeil was 1 for 4. Kana 1 for 3. Batty 0 for 4. And I feel like Ruff at first base, like, why are they doing that, Brian? Do they want Pete to get rest? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I think, I mean, he's played a lot of games this year. And
he should be, though.
I think the thing is, I mean, you would think there's a better option at the end of the day than Ruff.
Josh Bell. Should have got Josh Bell, dude.
Couldn't get Soto. Package deal.
I know, it would have been dope.
Yeah, but you didn't, so that's what
anyway, I'm just saying, like, but then what's the point of even have Alonso at DH? Like, why not just
give him a rest?
Give him a rest then. Give him an actual rest. Don't even dress today, Pete. Go to the spa.
You need the bat, the
yeah, you do need the bat.
Is inconsistent. I mean, they're not gonna just score 10 runs a game, and I think
they did last night, though.
I think that's why Strider said it, honestly, because he just doesn't feel that it's sustainable. So I think that's why, Alonso, he's important to the offense. So you want to give him as much rest as possible.
Well, speaking of scoring 10 runs, we'll go to last night's game because they beat the Phillies 10-8.
10-8, 10-9. They gave up
oh, that's right,
9.
Diaz. So 10-9.
Wow, what happened? I thought he was invincible. Were the trumpets playing?
Still
in Philly? Did they play the trumpets?
Actually, I don't think there was, dude.
Oh, okay.
And if they did, they didn't because normally the broadcast stays on, says goes to commercial to hear the trumpet. So if they did, they didn't stay on. But anyway, dude. So Mets win 10-9, just as Brian said that the Mets won't be scoring 10 runs. But we have a very interesting choice. Obviously, at this point, Buck back against the wall in terms of who to start, kind of where to go. But he starts this guy that no one even knew of, Jose Butto.
How did he pitch?
He pitched not very well. 4 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned runs. He had 5 Ks and 2 walks. I believe. What was that stat you told me, Brian? He was like the worst pitcher in terms of giving up.
Yeah. It was the most runs allowed by a Mets pitcher making his debut.
So obviously this guy, no one even heard of him. The broadcasters didn't want to say his name.
Was Keith on the call?
No, it was Ron.
Oh,
Ron was on the call. No, Keith.
No, but Keith is such a chief. He was
he
purposely
doesn't do Philly games, right?
But that's insane.
It is kind of insane.
Like, you're not Keith. Like, nobody cares. Like, you just think you're a legend. Like, nobody cares.
I mean, he's kind of a legend, dude.
nobody
cares about Paul O'Neill.
I think a lot more people like Paul O'Neill than Keith Hernandez.
I'd like to take a poll.
I would love to take a poll.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, what the hell are they talking about?
The Mets, Budo, the win.
So obviously, this kid comes out there. The pitch they were highlighting for him was his changeup. And I mean, obviously, and Ron talked about it on the broadcast, who obviously has more insight than I. But when a pitcher relies on a changeup or a curveball, obviously those pitches take a little bit more of a touch than a fastball does, where you're just kind of yamming it in there. And it seemed to him that, this guy came out there maybe a little too much adrenaline, and his curveball, wasn't really moving as much as it did. He was kind of leaving it over the middle of the plate. Same thing with the changeup. It just wasn't moving as he would expect. And he thinks, from watching him, he thinks he was just throwing it too hard. And that's why you saw a lot of Phillies batters just key on him. I mean, the first inning was 5-0, I think. 4-0.
4-0. Yeah.
After the first inning. But fret not, Brian, because like the Mets have done several times, I mean, they answer back almost right away. Top of the second, Perez, 2 RBI single. Come on, that's huge from Perez too. That's awesome. Again, he kind of comes in the clutch here. Starts off the scoring, gets the ball rolling for the Mets. Third inning, Vogelbach double to right. Marte scores. Vogelbach has been so ridiculous. I think Saturday, the first game of Saturday, he was 1 for 2 with 2 walks. I just keep saying this. His eye at the plate is absolutely incredible.
Is it kind of like Aaron Hicks's?
I mean, he walks a lot.
Yeah.
So hey. And then after in the fourth, Marte singles. And then in the fourth inning for the Phillies, in the bottom of the fourth, Bohm homered, I believe, still off of Buteau over here, as he was, at this point, obviously settled in a little bit, but still, I mean, he was a young pitcher, frazzled, I'm sure. But at that point, it's 7-4 Phillies, and you're thinking, all right, we're going to go to our bullpen. Our bullpen's been used. Speaking of bullpen, Buck brought up another guy, Nate Fisher, 26-year-old from Syracuse. He's playing for Syracuse. He's not from Syracuse. But he came in, he pitched 3 innings. 2 walks, 1 K, no earned runs, 1 hit. I mean, so his stuff was there. He threw 50 pitches. I kind of like what I see there. If I was him, I would keep Fisher up because, we saw Trevor May after that give up a run and 2 hits. And I think with your bullpen, Trevor May has not looked like the way he did in the beginning of last season.
I mean, isn't it crazy that over the last year, Trevor Williams has outpitched Trevor May?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
So I think it may be worth to kind of keep Fisher around here. But regardless, 7th inning, Mark Canha, 3-run homer, arms flew up in the air, ties up the game. You absolutely just love to see that, dude. Mark Canha,
paying dividends
against
all odds.
But then, of course, the 8th innings when Trevor May gave up that 1 run, and then it's 8-7. But fret not, because who's up in the next inning, top of the 9th? Mark Canha, homers again, dude. Unbelievable. The 2-run shot puts the Mets up 9-8. And then after him, Nimmo with the insurance run, 10-8.
David Robertson, though, doing you guys a favor. I mean, he's blown big games before. Obviously, the Phillies really won.
Regardless,
gopher ball.
Whatever excuse you want to pull out of your Yankee pocket, you can talk about it. Whatever. But yeah, speaking of him, I think Thompson over there made a poor error in putting him in. To be honest, because I think he pitched
Saturday.
Yeah. And they were talking about in the broadcast, it's like Thompson's going back to the well, like over and over again. You have Buck going back to the young guys. And obviously it's paying over on Buck's side of the table here. Diaz in the 9th struggled a little bit here. I was watching. I was very nervous. You have 2 hits, 1 run. He walked 1. Only got 1 K. I think it was the final strike. No, I think for the second out was his K. Threw 21 pitches, 12 were strikes. His command was just all over the place is what it was. But you know what? Hey, I mean, he didn't blow the game. And, you would expect, Diaz, just like Brian says with the Yankees, get some cobwebs out of there. If there's ever a time, to not do well, it's now, not the playoffs. And you still didn't blow the game. So, I mean, in terms of Diaz blowing it, I mean, I'd say it's still an improvement,
Yeah. And I mean, I think it sets up, these games coming up, potentially could be close. So he might be, due to blow one, and he did make us look silly last time.
He did.
I'm just saying he did. I mean, everyone was completely overmatched. So I just hope this really humanizes Edwin Diaz, because I think the trumpets and people talking about Rivera. I mean, let's take it easy for a second,
Well, anyway, he still won us the game last night. He got 3 outs. He did his job.
I mean, I think Marcana won you the game, not Diaz. That was just kind of like, he got the save. Like, ooh.
It's team effort, dude. This isn't the Yankees where it's just, judge. Okay. Oh, Judge put his hand up. What a savior, dude.
Benintendi was the hero yesterday.
The Mets are a team. Okay. They play as a team. It's what the Yankees don't do, honestly. But just like Buffer mentioned, I mean, what a gritty game from the comeback. I mean, they never led in the game until the 7th or 8th inning, whatever it was. I mean, the drive from them, the grit, the determination, Brian, is a championship team right there. And you really can't argue against it at all. You can't, Brian.
I don't know what it is, Tony. Just like
it's called your Yankee bias is what it is, dude. You can't handle it.
I can't see them winning. I don't know what it is. I just can't foresee it. I mean, it's a nice run. Been playing good baseball, have some good pitching, but I just think people are getting ahead of themselves a little bit.
I don't think so. I mean, look at this team right now. You just had Saturday. You took 3 out of 4 from the Phillies, who were hot, by the way. Okay, you can't argue the fact that they were hot coming into this weekend. You even thought, like a lot of people thought, the Phillies were going to do well here.
I guess though, you know what? It was a good weekend, but I think it's like, what's going to happen when they play the Dodgers, the Cardinals, the Padres when they're right. Even the Braves.
But we weren't right. Like Alonso rested one game. He wasn't even at first base. Ruff sucks at first. And on top of that, Trevor Williams and David Peterson pitched a doubleheader for us. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, come on. I mean, to score 10 runs yesterday, I mean, you were pretty right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we had some guy who no one even heard of pitching. It might as well have been me pitching on that mound.
Just saying. These runs, you're not going to be facing the Phillies every game in the postseason.
And you're not going to have Buteau pitching for you in the playoffs. So, doesn't matter, dude.
I don't know. You want Tawan Walker starting in the playoffs for you.
Well, hey, it's better than Buteau.
Oh, man. But yeah, I just think and I'll be the first one to admit, I mean, this 2-game series with the Mets and the Yankees, I mean, this is much more important for the Yankees. I mean, I know, sure, the Mets division race, what is it, 4 games? I mean, it's pretty close.
Which is pretty funny because the last series against the Yankees that the Mets had, it was more important for the Mets to be winning.
Yeah. But I mean, the Yankees, I think the confidence that would be instilled with the Yankees, especially, to run Scherzer out of there after maybe 4 innings, 6 earned. I mean, that's the type of game we need because, and that's why today I feel very in between. It doesn't feel like they won yesterday, even though they did, just because of how bad the weekend was. And I just think it needs to start against the Mets, and it will. I think if, let's say, they were playing the White Sox today and they had won and they even blew them out, they're like, all right, but we still got a lot of work to do. But for some reason, a win against the Mets today would really just get me going and back in the right mindset.
Well, don't hold your breath, Brian. Okay.
I feel pretty good. I honestly, I feel pretty good. I feel Scherzer is due to get shellacked. I think it's been a while since that's happened. And I think we're going to be very strategic against him. Maybe we'll see some more hit and run, some double steals, very, very fundamentally sound baseball. Like we saw Trevino lay down that bunt, prior to, or not Trevino, actually, he legged out a single and then Marwin bunted and then Benintendi proceeded to hit that 2-run homer. So I think, all that stuff's going to be big. And I think, honestly, the offense will be there. I think it's going to come down to how we piece together the bullpen and how close Herman can go to giving us 6 innings. I think that's huge because, I mean, it's crazy. I really don't see, let's say even just the 8th inning, like we need a scoreless inning from Chapman. We're up 1. I don't know if we can get it. It's so annoying. Like they're literally, I almost want to say, since I've started watching the Yankees, there's not been one guy that just the first thing you think of I mean, is he going to throw strikes? Like, no one else has these problems where sure, they'll walk a guy, but then they'll figure it out. But he just it's just always such a struggle with the commands. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, have you ever seen such a fall from grace as far as command is concerned?
No, for Chapman?
Yeah. I mean, he's a waste.
I mean, and you think you're going to win tonight?
Because I think we can get 6 from Herman. I think Mari.
You think he gets 6 innings from Herman?
Yeah. I think, against a weak Mets offense, I think he can go 6.
Why is it a weak Mets offense?
I think they're playing over their heads a little bit.
What does that even
mean?
mean?
Lack of star power.
What does that mean, star power? Pete Alonso.
Oh man, but I just think that's the only big name they have, and I think so. If Herman goes 6, I think Loaizaga. Let's throw him out there. He only threw 7 pitches yesterday.
Oh no!
So give me Loaizaga to pitch the 7th, and then Marinaccio, even if he has to throw 35 pitches, 8 and 9, and I think the Yankees do it. And I want to say we are going to see a 8-4 victory tonight. And I think Aaron Judge, 2 home runs, including a 2-run shot off of Mr. Scherzer, bottom of the first inning. Herman, 6 innings, 3 earned. Today, that's enough. Maybe not last week, but today that's enough to finally beat those New York Mets.
Okay.
I want a prediction out of you.
Okay.
And also, just before you go, I just want to update everybody. We both went 2-2 Friday, so nothing really to talk about here. I'm 18-13. You're 19-12. But if you would, tell us how the New York Mets will win their 3rd straight game against the Yankees this year.
Okay, so Scherzer's not going to bow down to anyone, I don't think, tonight.
Not due for a clunker?
No, yeah. I mean, he's never due for a clunker. Max Scherzer,
he's had him.
I think the worst he's going to do tonight is 6 innings and 2 earned runs. That's the worst he can do. I think he's going to go 7 innings, 1 earned run. Solo shot from Judge, sure. I'll give it to him. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be much offense from anyone else off of the Yankees here. Herman may go 4 innings. 4 and 4. I think Lindor is going to hit a dinger pretty early. And then, McNeil may be set up with a nice, RBI single. Alonso definitely cranking one off of Herman for sure. I feel like Herman's just trying to go low and away and the ball a little bit low over the middle of the plate for Alonso. And Alonso's going to scoop that baby up like he's been doing all season. And then beyond that, I mean, our bullpen, I think, will be fine. I guess if we, I guess we'll go to Givens, the bullpen, maybe. I guess Diaz to close again. I guess I don't know. He had a long 9th inning. Maybe Givens to set up. Lugo to close is probably where they're gonna go. But regardless, I think maybe we'll run into some trouble with Givens. But other than that, I mean, I think that the Yankees are just not going to have enough offense to kind of beat the Mets here. I would say the Mets kind of take this one. I would say 5-2.
Interesting.
Yeah.
May the best man win.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll see what happens. And I just want to see in terms of but I do think too, I was going to say, I mean, I know you haven't really looked at the weather report as much as me, but I think we're going to have a game tonight.
Right? I really hope so, dude.
It seems like there might be a delay potentially, or just rain coming down in the middle of the game. But I think we're definitely going to have baseball, which is great. Because I just need to beat the Mets. I'm sorry. I'm at wit's end. I can't help it. For some reason, the Mets make me angry. I don't know what it is. I just can't help it. I'm sorry. I tried to keep it together, but I don't know. I just need it, Tony. I need it more than anything right now.
Oh my God. Barnes is losing it.
I mean, can you blame me though, Tony?
Yeah, I can blame you.
But I'm saying blame me for losing it after what I've had to endure with the Yankees. Really, the past 4 or 5 years, but specifically this season, after the way the last 2 seasons ended, or last 4 seasons, the highs of this year, everything in place, and then out of nowhere, Wandy runs to first to get that final out of the game. And then ever since then, everything's just went downhill. So, I mean, it's not fair what's happened. There's no good explanation you can give me for why they've went 5-14 in August. 0. Or no? Or is it just a timestamp and it doesn't matter? I mean, right? I mean,
Is there a good explanation?
Yeah.
They're not good.
That's not an explanation. And that's not true on top of it.
It's not true.
Yeah. Historic first half, Tony. That didn't happen for no reason. So let's not.
They're about to go into a historically low second half. Like, I don't tell you.
It's not gonna last. It's just not gonna last. The bad times are not gonna last. I'm convinced of it. They've worked too hard because you see, like when Benintendi homered, when Donaldson hit the grand slam, they're always one big play away from that energy, that juice, that excitement, that passion coming back. You see it. You see it on the field. You see it at the end of the game. And I think
Do you believe in what you're saying?
Michael knows it. He saw it at the end of the game.
Oh, no.
No?
I don't know, man. We'll see. These next 2 games will be, sure tell.
What's going to be, let's say my prediction's right. Call it, what did we say, 8-4?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be, how you going to, what will be your response to that?
I would say, hey, it's baseball. Anything could happen. Scherzer's
due for a
clunker. It happens sometimes.
All right. Fair enough.
Wouldn't think anything of it.
Not much of a game. But yeah, I think we have enough to have 3 each in addition to this game. So
sounds good.
If you would.
Okay, yeah, I think I will. Just looking at the games tonight. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. They're hosting the LA Angels tonight. Tucker Davidson is on the mound for the Angels, 6.75 ERA, 2-3 on the season. I suppose. I mean, I guess you'll see. Let's look at some stats here. Game started this season. So far he has 5 starts. I guess he was a bullpen guy at first when he came up. 26 years old. He's a lefty. His last start, I guess, was decent against Minnesota. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. But before that, Seattle, they lost 6-3, 4 innings, 6 earned runs. He actually came over from Atlanta, it looks like. And even with Atlanta, it was like against Philadelphia, 2 2/3, 5 earned runs. He had 5 innings of unearned baseball against Milwaukee, but I mean, that was when Milwaukee was kind of slumping a little bit. Regardless, Jeffrey Springs on the mound for Tampa Bay. I think they certainly have the advantage there. And regardless, I mean, we talk about the Angels. I mean, Ohtani is the only good thing about the Angels. And even so, it's not like he can just win games on his own.
Stomach bug yesterday, left after 4 on the mound.
Really?
Yeah.
He's out today?
I haven't heard. I don't think they've. I mean, I'm guessing stomach bug. I mean, he's probably fine.
Yeah, right. Oh, you never know. Maybe still be puking.
Yeah, could be.
Stomach bug.
Never know.
But I think Yandy Diaz, dude, 3-run homer tonight. You like Yandy?
He's annoying, but I guess he's decent.
And then I guess a Rosarena, maybe a nice RBI double for him.
Disappointing year for Mr. Rosarena.
A little bit, dude. And you were so high and mighty on him in the beginning of the year, too. He was your guy.
I don't know.
Anyway, Tampa Bay wins it, I'd say 5-0. 5-1. 5-1. I'll give him 1 run. 5-1.
Hard to argue. Angels are a dumpster fire.
It's really disgusting.
The Braves in Pittsburgh.
There we go.
Odorizzi. I mean, I know he's not Satchel Paige. Doesn't matter. Contreras, the Pirates, they suck. Braves know the Mets have been doing some winning. They want to catch them, and they need to win tonight. And I think Odorizzi can give them 6 scoreless. And I think Vaughn Grissom will hit for the cycle, 4 for 5, 3-run homer. Acuna has a solo shot. Braves 7, Pirates 1.
Love it. All right, my next pick, St. Louis, baby. They're going to Chicago. Who's in the mound for St. Louis, Brian?
Jordan Montgomery.
Yes, I absolutely love to see it. We talked about Jordan Montgomery. I think they compared his stats to Garrett Cole's stats recently. I think in Monty's last start, probably actually maybe the start against the Yankees, but they're somewhat similar. And Garrett Cole, actually, I believe Monty has better stats, and Garrett Cole's getting paid way more. And then St. Louis is probably on like I don't know, what's their winning streak? 8 right now?
Something like that, yeah.
Let's see, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to be number 8 here. Against Chicago. I mean, Drew Smyly on the mound for Chicago. I feel like he did okay for the Braves, but then just started blowing games with the Braves and hasn't really done a whole lot better for the Cubs here. I mean, I feel like his career has been all over the place. He's been in Pittsburgh, I think, Minnesota, maybe.
He was once the centerpiece for David Price in his prime.
How crazy is that?
When he got traded to, I think it was the Tigers from the Rays.
It's nuts.
Really has not panned out.
So I think he's gonna get shellacked by the Cardinals today. I mean, we know, excuse me, the amount of offense they can get. I would say it's easy money for the Cardinals here. Give me 6-2.
All right. I'm gonna take the Phillies. Your guy, Noah Syndergaard, versus a former Yankee.
I can't believe he's just been ducking the Mets so much. There's no way he's gonna pitch well.
And I think the reason he ducked the Mets is he said, Cincinnati, I could strike out 12. And that's what he's going to do tonight.
Oh,
6
no,
innings,
dude.
No runs, 3 hits, no walks, 12 strikeouts. Kyle Schwarber, 4 home runs.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You're in this game.
4 home runs.
You're on something today, Brian.
Phillies 10. And the Reds 0.
Brian, the later show is really getting to you, huh, dude?
Oh man!
Holy shit! All right, what do we got, dude? Do I Twins? Sonny Gray for the Twins here? Okay, yeah, give me Minnesota. Sonny Gray, we know what he's about. We know what Brian feels about him. But Cole Reagans on the mound for Texas, and I believe I've been picking against Cole Reagans every single time. And he's 0-2 on a season, so he doesn't pitch well. He's a 5 ERA. He only has 7 strikeouts, over 14 1/3 innings, over 13 hits, over 14 innings. I mean, we talked about him, this young guy who came up from the minors. Whatever, he did well in the minors, but he's gotten absolutely shellacked here in the majors, and I would expect that to happen again for the Minnesota Twins. Sonny Gray, who's 7-3 of the season, by the way, 3.11 ERA, not terrible. I would say regardless of what he even does. I mean, this guy Cole Reagans gonna get shellacked. Give me Minnesota all day long. Byron Buxton?
What's he hitting? 190?
His average is 222, 28 home runs, 51 RBIs. And there's Luis Arraez, who's batting 330. He's really good, the first baseman. I would say a dinger from the both of them. Maybe Jorge Polanco has 3 RBIs off of 2 RBI double and an RBI single. And then Minnesota wins this one, let's say 5-0.
All right. Last pick, and actually the last game of tonight, 10-10, the class of the National League, the Los Angeles Dodgers hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. Julio Urias versus Eddie Lauer. And I don't think this one will be close. Dodgers, a league-high 84 victories and really just mowing over the competition. Urias is 13-6, 240. So give them 7 scoreless. Brewers have been a mess since the trade deadline for whatever reason. Cardinals running away with the division. Mookie Betts, 4 for 5. And I'm going to say Trey Turner hits a home run as well. Freddie Freeman, give him a home run. And let's say Dodgers 9-3. It's really amazing what they're doing. Very deep team. And I think just from a clubhouse perspective, not to mention the on-field performance, I mean, Freddie Freeman was a hell of a grab this offseason.
Oh, yeah. Unbelievable, dude. And after everything that kind of obviously transpired between him and his manager, I mean, all in all, I mean, the guy is still playing just phenomenal baseball.
Yeah, like what now with that whole situation, I mean, do you think that was just more of he was just tight about being like lied to or information versus him not being happy with the Dodgers? Like, do you think he's enjoying it, or do you still think he's like?
Listen, I think that guy, you put a bat in his hand and he's playing baseball wherever it is, he's going to be totally ecstatic about it. I think it was more about the manager lying to him and the fact that he thinks, he's not unhappy, but I'm sure he would be happier if he was still playing for Atlanta.
Yeah. But Matt Olson has caught fire after a slow start to his season. So I think at the end of the day, it's working out for both teams. But obviously, Atlanta really wants this division. But they got some work to do. Down 4 and a few games left with the Mets. I know the Mets just finished their Phillies series for the season, but the Mets have a couple series with Atlanta left, or
I think just one.
Just one. Okay.
Interesting. Double check.
But... So yeah, they're gonna have to just do the work themselves, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, dude. And even when they play the Mets, I mean, they're gonna lose anyway. So I hope Strider's on the mound. Honestly,
I don't know.
That's just a ridiculous thing to say, dude. Like, how do you go out there and get popped?
I'm just curious though. In a playoff series, other than the Dodgers, who do you least look forward to facing?
I mean, I would say the Braves.
So you'd rather the Cardinals over the Braves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we know postseason runs are at a premium, and that lineup. I mean, every guy.
Cardinals or the Braves?
No, the Braves.
Yeah, I know. And every guy too. I mean, you think of like Ronald Acuna. I mean, he is historically good against Jacob deGrom. Like, he's done well against him.
Right.
So it's tough, dude. I mean, it's obviously, like you mentioned, a really tough lineup, very talented, a lot of power. They can hit anywhere in the field, in the park too. It's ridiculous. Not to mention, their pitching is decent. Max Fried's been killing it.
And do you think the reason why it works out is because they're so young and bat speed is so important come postseason time? A lot of hard throwers out there.
Oh yeah,
and that's why they had success last year, and they have even more young guys this year.
I know it's honestly really ridiculous. But they know exactly what their plan is, and they're executing perfectly. Dude.
And you know what I didn't realize? I guess I thought I saw this, that Ozzy Albies will be back at some point.
Is that true?
I thought he was out for the year.
You would think so, right?
Yeah. But I saw they're like, oh, it's gonna be interesting what they do with Vaughn Griffin.
Right.
I mean Vaughn Grissom. But the way Vaughn Grissom is hitting,
how are they gonna move him? Like,
you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you absolutely can't. I mean, because can Albies play outfield or no? Yeah, I mean, because right now isn't Robbie Grossman or Eddie Rosario starting every day? Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious answer. I mean, Grissom's not going anywhere.
No.
That infield though, I mean, Riley, Swanson, Grissom, and Olsen.
So nasty. Swanson is ridiculous in the field.
Yeah, and he looked like such a bust, too.
I know. He looked like a bum is what,
Yeah, couldn't hit. Really wasn't even good in the field. And all of a sudden, it's just like a shock went over him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I think other than that, I mean, we're looking forward to the Subway Series tonight.
Yeah, dude. Big Subway Series. We do have a comment from before we head out here.
Oh God.
He goes, yeah, this is, I don't know if you're gonna want to talk about this. Your thoughts. UFC, Dana White brokered a deal to bring Tom Brady to the Raiders, but John Gruden nixed the deal. Gronk confirmed the rumor.
I feel like Brady, falls along the lines of.
Is that just because of like Las Vegas or what? Like why?
I don't know, but it's just, you know what I mean? Enough with Brady. I don't care about his family vacation to the Bahamas, and he's working with a patchwork offensive line. They got 2 guys out for the season. He's going to get hit a lot this year.
Isn't there a center out?
He's not going to have a good. Yeah, he's out for the year. They already lost another guard this weekend. He's not going to have a good year. You know what I mean? It's like enough. Like, your stupid face has been plastered over the league for 20 years. You're falling off of a cliff. I'm sorry. I know you think, oh, we're going to be in contention for a Super Bowl. We brought in Julio Jones. Julio Jones is going to be out for the season by week 4. And I want to say Brady will throw 20 interceptions this year, a career high. Bucks, last place in the division. Mark it down. Falcons will be ahead of the Bucks this year.
I'm going to roll back this tape.
Roll it back. I mean, you always like Mariota, no?
Yeah, Mariota, big fan.
Kyle Pitts, and then Cordell Patterson. Very, very underrated. Running back, receiver, very fast. And I think Drake London, knee injury early in the preseason, guy the Jets were thinking about at receiver. Falcons could surprise. And I think the Saints, having Michael Thomas back for a full season for the first time in 3 years. And Alvin Kamara, as long as he's healthy, that defense, we've seen how they bottle up Mike Evans with Marshawn Lattimore. I think the Bucs are in for it. I just think, they think they're going to stroll in there. Brady being 45, Todd Bowles, his first coaching assignment since the debacle with the New York Jets. I don't know. I don't see what they're seeing in terms of being a Super Bowl contender.
Right.
Not here.
Not here.
Not happening.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Never.
You're ready for football,
dude. A few more comments here from my mother. Oh my goodness. She goes, "Hi, fellas." My mom says Barnes is delirious because of those Yankees, and then she says, "Nice shirt, Ant."
Delirious because I don't expect a 45-year-old.
Yeah, no one commented on my shirt, by the way. Come on, dude. The state of New York. I got this for free. They tossed it to me at the game. It was dope.
If I didn't, get angry about the Mets, I would say that's a nice shirt. Honestly, I really would.
All right, tonight. let's say tonight the Mets win. Tomorrow,
yeah.
What's going into your head? Are you on to game 2, or you're beyond yourself?
We're on to game 2, but I just feel like it. It's just that sword. You just keep turning it. Just keep turning it. But luckily, as Renee knows, as Michael knows, I'm not gonna have to worry about that. The Yankees are about to go on a run for the ages. You will see it. We will talk about it tomorrow. I can't wait.
Prefer almost cried seeing Aaron Boone chatting with the media. That's despicable, dude. How do you have a respect for that, man?
There's a couple guys, I'm always behind my Yankees. There's a couple guys that I don't mind throwing under that bus. Hal, Boone, Cashman. Throw them to the Wolves. We don't need them. That's it. I'm sorry. And it's just funny too. I really would. It's a shame that we can't get to actually know when Hal's getting booed and Cash is getting booed, what they're actually saying about it. What their defense mechanism is. Because they're a joke. That's it. They're a joke. I feel like out of all those guys, I almost have more respect for Boone. It's not his fault that they're being cheap and not making the right moves. That's not on him. And he's one of their bad moves, but he didn't make them give him a contract extension. They gave it to him. So that's not his fault. Right?
No, you're not wrong. Why wouldn't Boone take it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be manager of the New York Yankees.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to
the best sports franchise in
money.
History.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but starts tonight, Tony. New season. They're setting the tone.
Sayonara, Tony.
Sayonara to the Mets. Okay. And Josh Donaldson is probably still going to be batting 4th. I hope he's still banged up. I know he's had some type of injury. Cabrera can readily fill in at 3rd. You want to go LeMahieu at 3rd. Doesn't matter. All that matters is New York Yankees. Had a little bit of a panic attack. Yesterday when Trevino had that walk, but got the job done.
Wow.
Wow. But yeah, other than that, anything else other than a couple bites, Tony? Anything
Tony's
else?
favorite team.
No, that's all I got, dude.
All right. But it'll be a
Regarding
fun night.
Yankees.
I'm sure we will talk about it. But once again, really would like to thank everybody for tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. Checking out the archives on the YouTube page as well as the summer collection, downtimetv.com. Everybody enjoy the day. Enjoy the Subway Series. Yankees win. The Yankees win. We'll see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.